Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Butter What Show. This is my lovely co-host, Brian Moses, from briancmoses.com. He's been lovely all night so far. I'm Pat Regan, and I've got a little CNC stuff to talk about here. I saw this neat project from... have we forgot to say who the projects were from yet tonight? This one is from Engineering Workshop. He's made some... this is Hunter White, mechanical engineer. He's made these organizers very much like we were talking about earlier, except very specifically for the CNC hold downs and end mills and things. And he's machined all the pockets. This is all in 2 sheets of MDF, medium density fiber. It's like yours here, Tubby. He's got a space for his calipers, a space for the... I assume that's the wrench he uses to lock in end mills on his tool. He's got all the little tie downs and stuff. And I want to do this, Tubby. I want to organize my toolbox with something like this. I guess I'm kind of skipping behind. Usually people do this with foam. Foam. Yep, like it's Carbide 3D did a video recently cutting this EVA foam stuff.
Okay.
And I was bummed out when I looked up EVA, like I looked for sheets of this stuff. It's kind of expensive. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was definitely more than MDF. And that makes me think, shouldn't I just cut MDF instead of foam?
Would the foam be faster, maybe?
It might be faster. And I'm going to tell you what the most important thing is, though, Tubby. And it took me a while to realize this. The foam is light. Can you imagine if you put a 1-inch sheet of MDF in the bottom of every drawer in your moving toolbox?
It'd be heavy. And it probably dampens movement and vibration quite a bit. So, if you had like a bin full of screws, they wouldn't jangle around the whole time your machine was running.
Yeah, like this gentleman, engineer, what's his name?
Yeah.
Engineering Workshop. He got screws, they'll be jangling around in there. You'll hear them.
I don't know. I don't think that's a big deal, right? It's going to be in the garage, and the router, your CNC machine,
so loud.
Is making so much more noise. You won't even hear the jangling.
Yeah, I like the MDF because I think it looks better.
Yep.
And you can paint it or something, I'm sure. But it looks better, it's sturdier, and it's easier to acquire. I don't even know where to buy EVA foam.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you could order it, but then you're paying for shipping. I don't know of a local store to buy it. I could go down to Home Depot and I could buy a whole bunch of MDF for pretty cheap. But I think he's done a good job. He's got a very heavy drawer now. But he's got all his stuff nice and organized. I'm bad at organized. My CNC stuff is mostly just, it's in a drawer flopping around. I'm
everywhere.
He's got between this and Gridfinity, I might do a little of both out in the garage one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, would you want something like this in one of your Hemmler drawers instead of the grids?
I don't know that I'd want it in my Hemmler drawer, but my 3D printer there is on a media cart. It's got a big drawer, and there's not a whole lot of depth that I could play with where I could stack Gridfinity stuff. So this would almost be more appropriate for the things that I've got stored under my 3D printer.
I've been wanting to do something like this. I had a plan I could pull this out over here. I have this Network Engineer Toolkit, I think it was called, on Amazon, that has crimpers and strippers and cables and cable testers and some very random tools. But I thought it might be nice to get a nice hardwood and do basically this with slots for all of the correct tools. Maybe 3D print some little TPU inserts to clip the tools in. Like you could see here, Tubby, for his calipers, there's a round cutout so you can put your fingers in there. Yeah, I could do a little round cutout and put a TPU insert in that, kind of grabs some of the tool.
And I'm realizing one thing that's a big advantage over the Gridfinity.
What's that?
Well, you're constrained by your 3D printing.
Yep.
The surface of your 3D printer. I ran into things. I have scissors, and they're longer than the longest edge of my 3D printer.
That's
so I had to print it wider. Well, I don't know, but it was like
the bin it would fit in would be big. If the number.
Yeah, I would have had to put 2 pieces together to make a long enough bin.
Yeah, so if like they're 6 1/4 units long for the scissors, but you can't fit 7.
Fit 6, yeah, same Same thing with the calipers. I bet you that would be the same if I tried to lay my calipers flat and design a Gridfinity bin around that. It'd have to be in multiple pieces.
Yep.
And that's a hassle.
It is.
I mean, it's a solvable problem, but I like it way better if you could just plop it down on the CNC machine and it gets hogged out for you.
Well, and this goes so fast. I forget how long it
Yes.
said it took him to cut this. Is probably a 30-minute job to do one or maybe both of these. And that's fantastic. I mean, it's a 2-hour job to print, one or two medium-sized bins in the Gridfinity, which is fine. The printer, you don't have to babysit the printer like you do the CNC. There's a trade-off there. But I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought it was worth showing our friends on YouTube.
I think it's really cool.
And if you guys know where to buy EVA foam,
let Pat know in the comments.
Like they're doing a simple thing here on Carbide. They're making inserts that go into a, I think it went into an Altoid tin.
Okay.
But I could be wrong about that. I don't think they show us. They're not showing us. If they do, I'll put a screenshot here.
The EVA phone might be fun for things like packaging, custom packaging material.
They do that a lot with laser cutters because it'll shoot through the whole thing of foam fast. EVA foam is not usually packaging. It's a different kind of foam, that anti-static air-filled foam. But both cut well. Both cut very well. It is true. You can add some foam to the sides to keep the things from wobbling around.
That's a very good point, Tushar.
I think what this gentleman did here, he used the double-sided tape that we used to hold down parts that we're cutting. He's got a couple of pieces of double-sided tape on each of these to keep them from